highly doubt that will happen. Randomizer is very punishing and unforgiving sometimes, but as the runners that they are, I think they will go through it. And again, they start, both of them start with Quickman. So no funky stuff here. Let's go through those beams, take those E-tanks, and actually complete the stage. And straight away you get tin cans that are kind of a... That's just mean. Like starting a randomizer race with tin cans, dude. Wow.
Yeah, especially in those positions, not really much you can do about them.
They have no choice. You just have to take it. And on the bottom section you have tin cans again, but this time you can shoot them and they are vulnerable. This time actually vulnerable to Buster. And weak as well because they don't destroy themselves on particles. They actually disappear completely. So that's a little bit of a bonus there.
I'm scared to commentary curse it, but that's one of the nicest things that you can get is a tin can that's vulnerable to Buster in one hit.
None of the guys told us we can't curse them, so feel free. I think this race is gonna be a piece of cake, and MetaLow is gonna go all in, and we're gonna see a very, very interesting race.
And quick for our first boss. Is this even randomized?
Wow, that's a pretty vanilla. This is a really vanilla quick. Well, it's strange, I guess, but still vanilla. It can be much worse. Like a randomized Quickman can be really slow, can move really slow, can have really slow boomerangs, jump really high, or be faster than the speed of light, which you don't actually want, because sometimes you cannot dodge everything. It's so bad that you might die because the Robot Master is really, really unforgiving.
Yeah, as far as Quickmans go, that was a pretty favorable Quickman fight. Seemed like he was extra vulnerable to Buster and it wasn't too hyper aggressive. And then both runners decided to go to Flash next.
Yeah, get that slippery stage out of the way. Stop slipping and take the E-tank. Take the E-tank, and the reason why Flash again is because it's a doable booster stage, and you kind of get a basic idea what the doors can be immune to if you want to test some stuff around. And for a second tournament match, because the first one ended. The first one ended. For a second tournament match, this is really signed up, as the guys say. This is a really close race, like because we do weeklies of randomizer. Most of the time, it's not that equal for everybody. This is really close, and they kill Airman at the same time as well. I think MetaLow has some edge for now, but they're pretty quick.
Yeah, they're really close and seem to be still following the same stage routing.
That's 4 minutes, 2 Robot Masters. That's really quick, and they go bubble 30. My best guess is they're gonna go for the pulse buffer. It's on randomizer. It's not like in Mega Man 2 where you go for item 1 to do the zip because it's faster, yada yada. You just go for the bubble zip because it's safer and it gives you a close result of what you want.
Right, again, especially because the runners don't know when they're gonna actually end up getting the items. So it's might end up being impossible to have any items to do some of the zips that they wanted to do.
Yeah, and especially when some runners, because this is really free of choice, some runners just want to get rid of the stage as soon as possible. Like Airman and Bubble stage are kind of annoying for some people, and they wanna complete them as soon as possible. So, yeah, I understand their choice, and both of them complete the zips this time. And actually, something to note about: StuffnThings got a bonus life, which some may consider unlucky, but in the randomizer, sometimes you need them.
Yeah, it's actually his second life. He got a bonus 1-up in Flashman stage as well.
Oh my, he's loaded. He's fully loaded then. He will never game over this randomizer. And a very high jumping, actually. Weak to Buster Flashman. The guys still are having no issues, but they're not getting any items, which I consider to be unlucky, but they are completing the stages in a very speedy fashion. So, wow, metal stage though. Metal stage. You should see the horrible metal stage that MetaLow is getting. In the meantime, StuffnThings this time completes the first screen of Woodman really fast because it wasn't that punishing, and he's gonna do some dog action right here, and on the other screen MetaLow is getting some chicken action. So these chickens can be tricky if you can't kill them fast enough. They can knock you down, do some amazingly bad stuff to you when you're speedrun. But I think he got it. It's 2-shot chicken? Yeah, that's a 2-shot Buster chicken. So yeah, and Stuff refuses to use any weapons on dogs. So he'll continue like with Buster without changing weapons. And they will meet. I think MetaLow will be faster just because of the nature of Metal Man stage. But I think they're pretty close to each other. It's just a matter of time before someone gets an item and start doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, MetaLow actually decided to do something pretty cool to make that last gap in Metal Man stage, where he saw he wasn't going to be able to clear it without getting hit by a rooster, so he took a hit before making the jump so he could just use his iframes to get through the chicken, which was pretty smart, ended up working out for him.
Yeah, randomizer strats can be really strange sometimes, especially using damage boosts that are not typical for the game, and a lot of pause buffers sometimes. Pause buffers can be a time saver and a lifesaver as well, because some stuff you can't dodge, and when you're walking and they appear on the screen and you want to jump over them and it's not possible, you just need to pause buffer. That's it. And actually, Stuff is getting really tough Woodman ladder section, so he uses one of his E-tanks, but he pulls through the stage, so it's all good as well. And if you don't die, it's always good if you don't die. So, and the different strats here, MetaLow actually found the weakness for the dogs, which is Leaf Shield, so he'll use that for a faster dog kill.
And once again, MetaLow going for the good wood.
And meanwhile, I've a pretty vanilla metal for StuffnThings. He did mediocre jumps, which is good, and he was weak to Buster, and now Stuff gets his item 1. And MetaLow is again having some issues with the good wood, which saves a lot of time, but if you die, you actually lose all the time that you wanted to save. So yeah, but no, he goes for it again. So, and Stuff actually prepares for a metal zip, but there's item 1. It's one of the faster disappearing ones, so you must be really tight on your setups for it. Must be really close when you do the setup. So see, the difference here is that MetaLow is trying to save the much needed time and wood by doing the good wood, and he does it second try, but StuffnThings with his amazing patience, if I may say so, doesn't do good wood, does a normal wood, doesn't die, gets item 1, and does a metal zip, which I think MetaLow skipped because he didn't have the item 1.
Oh my goodness, those chickens can be so obnoxious.
And MetaLow also completes wood, and he goes for Crash. After he's seen that he has the item 1, that means he'll go to Crash. Most likely Crash, and if you got item 2, item 1, all the items you kind of keep for Heatman stage. Talking about Heatman, StuffnThings is playing on the conveyor belt with Heatman. Oh, and of course he does it. But these Robot Masters are kind of friendly. I'm actually amazed that the Robot Masters are so friendly this time. The last time, some of them were a big issue.
Yeah, so far it seems to be a fairly friendly seed. I haven't seen too many enemies that are Buster is tinking off of this game.
Seems that Stuff has one of my favorite emotional Mega Man songs, and does a pretty typical Airman level, let's say, if I may say typical, with lightning wards and birds.
Made that jump just a little bit short.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, especially if you wait for those birds and you kind of, it kind of messes you a lot, but yeah, he is gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. I'm gonna give this to tournament pressure. Meanwhile, a very dark Clash, which is not vulnerable to Buster, and not weak to Buster. He's vulnerable but not weak, and he's giving the runners big troubles.
Yeah, I don't know if you were able to see. I wasn't even able to see his power bar, his life bar.
And he was taking, I think, 2 damage per shot, which is not considered weakness, and easy. And in normal, that's 1 damage, and easy, it's 2 damage, and it's not a vulnerability. And sometimes it can be really tough, because if you start the fight wrong, it goes wrong the whole time. It's really hard to recover. But MetaLow is an experienced runner, so. he actually decides to take a game over, and that's really smart. I really understand that decision, because if at some point the airman stage is hard, you get like strange enemies that can kill you or knock you down, and you die, you restart the whole level. So stuff goes for Clash, and actually MetaLow is having some trouble with this airman stage. And the last few weeks, let's say days or weeks, whatever, most of us runners have trouble with this stage. For some reason, most of us get really bad airman stages, and it's really tough to get a good airman stage. The spawns, because they're really randomized, and this stage is so opened, it's really hard to traverse. Even with items, I tried everything with item 2 or whatever, it doesn't work. It's really hard. And Stuff completes the Clash, the standard Clash zip, so he will continue climbing, skipping one part of the Clash level. And MetaLow actually completed the airman stage, so he will fight Bubbleman. And you can see the item 1 usages are pretty typical for a Mega Man Clash climb. And actually, I'm really happy that I haven't seen a huggable Bubble. So there is this thing with Bubble that he can follow Mega Man. He follows Mega Man the whole time, but sometimes he's randomized in a way that he hugs Mega Man. He follows his trajectory and hugs him. And you have no way, absolutely no way of running away without him getting you. So you have to be really creative to actually kill Bubble. But both of the races so far, Bubble is a really good guy, so yeah. And meanwhile, MetaLow is getting, I would say, a first section of heat, which is with Fang guys, and it's really tough. They can blow you in the lava so easy, so yeah, it's really tough.
Yeah, anytime the fan guys are in a position near a pit or the lava like that, it can be really tough because all of your physics and trajectory are thrown off by them blowing you. So it's a really good idea to use that Flash Man there.
Oh, and you can see what Randomizer can do. Randomizer can actually kill your zip if he wants to. Those bunnies almost interrupted MetaLow's zip. It's that bad sometimes. So yeah, don't be greedy in doing those wiggle zips, because sometimes you can see bunnies and they can make you over zip or not be able to do the zip as well. And you can see StuffnThings got caught off guard because of these fan guys. It's really tough. It's really tough because you don't expect this. You have no way of knowing these guys are gonna be there at these uncomfortable positions. They're gonna be immune, and you have to switch search for weakness, be careful with your jumps because you're gonna get blown away. It's really bad. But these runners, they're really, really tough runners. They're not giving up. It's never over for them. So yeah, they will have to complete this.
Meanwhile, MetaLow's about to start his first Wily stage, so he's a little bit ahead right now.
And seems about right for the dragon game, I think. I'm gonna bet for the Blue Eyes White Dragon until it appears, actually. So if you want, guys, bet on your dragon now, or lose your money later.
Always like an orange dragon. I'm gonna stick with orange. It was pretty close. It was kind of more pinkish last time, so I'm going for a nice, good, rich orange.
MetaLow using any percent strat. Oh my. This is gonna be a really tough race. Nothing is over until the fat lady sings, you know. Nothing is over until Wily 4 is done. Nothing. So StuffnThings may be one stage behind. It seems like one stage behind, but it's actually really close if someone makes a mistake.
By the way, I think that was a sub 21 minute 8 robos for MetaLow, getting to Wily stages in less than 21 minutes.
Yeah, that was 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Which for a race setting is really hard to do. If it's not what when you're grinding on yourself or, you know, playing alone, grinding for a PB or learning the game, you get good times. But on a race setting, 20 minutes robos on a randomizer is a great time. And StuffnThings joins MetaLow on Wily. And I got my blue eyes pink dragon. Okay, first.
GG.
Meanwhile, you can see Stuff not wasting his item too. He has some really strange strats. He uses item 3. That's a really old strat. Oh, he uses it here, not from the beginning. Because you kind of waste time. For me personally, it's a waste of time refilling, but if you feel safe, you see the start of the stage and you feel safe, it's good to use that item too, just to gain a little bit of time. So another two more blue eyes dragons, and I'll complete my deck. So yeah, actually I get 2 because StuffnThings will get another blue eyes white dragon. This time around, MetaLow doesn't have any issues with the dragon, and he will take the Z tank. He has 1, but he doesn't feel safe, it seems, so he will take 1 more and continue through the stage. With 2, if he doesn't use 1 E tank, my best bet is he's not gonna take the one from Wily 3, because we've seen Stuff got out of tanks, and he got the one from Wily 3, and it was useful because Wily Machine was not immune to Buster. Was immune to Buster. So he had to fish and use the tank to actually complete the game. And Pico is Buster weak. That means easy time and ammo consumption safe for both of the runners. Sadly, StuffnThings had to take a unfortunate death to the dragon. I think the roles have switched here. You can see the pattern. The roles have switched. Now it's the same thing. This time around, StuffnThings dies to the dragon, and MetaLow is actually doing great. But I want to explain why the guys are using Buster so much, because the main reason of that is because the randomizer uses a lot of your weapons on the wily stages. I mean a lot, like item 1, item 2, item 3, weapons, everything, and including fishing for weaknesses also uses that. So you want to really conserve your weapons, use them as less as possible. So yeah, that's why runners keep their weapon usage at bare minimum.
Yeah, if you can use Buster, you probably should use Buster, if at all possible.
And the same strat as MetaLow did. Flush on Wily 3. That's actually really smart. I haven't done that. And I haven't seen anyone do that from the randomizer players. And that's actually really, really smart strat. It saves time. I'm pretty sure it saves time. And this time around, StuffnThings plays the dragon really carefully and completes Wily 1.
Well, it looks like MetaLow had little trouble finding the weakness of that Guts Dozer.
Yeah, that happens. Fishing is a really big thing in this game. Like, if you don't know the weaknesses for these, yeah, and the other guy finds it, it's probably gonna save so much time ahead of you. So when I say it can change in a matter of seconds, it can literally change. Now this race can easily end the StuffnThings winning. It's Wily 4 for MetaLow, so keep your eyes peeled. And you can see two different types of rabbits on both screens. On one screen, the rabbits are yellow, and the other screen, rabbits are actually red. And yeah, that's randomizer for you. And MetaLow had some trouble with some, but that juicy Wily 4 zip he got, he will transition without using safety items to find the holes and not get one KO'd by the spikes. And he does it really carefully, really careful. This time he doesn't want to die without any reason. Meanwhile, Stuff is going through his Pico fight. Just to understand, his Pico fight is Buster weak, and it's gonna be a piece of cake. He probably now has an idea how far is he ahead and how far he is not.
Yeah, he knows he took that death, and he's gonna have to try to make up some time as a result of it.
very important moment. A rabbit? No. MetaLow decides to not do the overzip. He knows those door zips. When you want to enter bowbeam from the top of the screen. When something hits you, when you want to do wiggles, it's a overzip, and he does it really slow without saving those precious 5-10 seconds, and he's gonna win because of playing safe. That's the name of Randomizer.
MetaLow getting that Metal Blade weakness for Boo Beam, which is nice. He probably could have saved himself a little bit of time if he tried it earlier, but of course there's no way for him to know.
And refights time. As we know, by this time, the Robot Masters aren't that scary. They're, if I may say, pretty vanilla this time. So my best guess is there are not gonna be some big hiccups on those refights. It's all on Wily Machine and Alien, I think. If MetaLow doesn't make a huge mistake. And Stuff will now fish for the Guts weakness. He starts from bottom to top menu. That's actually also personal preference. Oh, he finds the same weakness as MetaLow, that is the air shooter. So he'll do it in a speedrun fashion, really fast.
Yeah, meanwhile, MetaLow's going into his fourth refight. I remember most of these bosses were pretty friendly to Buster, so like you said, they shouldn't have too much trouble getting through the refights. It all depends on what Wily's machine is going to give him.
Actually, MetaLow got through his, I think, the hardest Robot Master on this seed, which was the Clashman. So he played it really safe on Flash in order to regain some HP. So it's on to Airman to ruin your day today. Nope. He is gonna be a good buddy and jump over. Meanwhile, Stuff doesn't do the speed strat, but actually fares really fast on the stage. It's all on the spike screens. This is the bane for all players, actually, the spike screen. And here, these screens are actually really friendly because you have mobs to damage boost on, and that's all the runners need. Like mobs that can't hit you while you're on the ladder, so they can knock you down. And be friendly, you can boost on them while I'm blubbering. Some really bad stuff happened, so yeah. StuffnThings will have to try this again.
Yeah, it looked like he just missed the placement for his item 1s and didn't get them out, and it threw off his jumps to the point where he landed right on the spikes.
That happens when you want to save time. It's really tough. Those mistakes happen when you want to be fast and you're under pressure. Like you want to do some stuff, but you want to do them really fast in order to gain time, and you make mistakes. So that's normal. That's normal. It happens to a lot of people. Meanwhile, MetaLow destroys the machine. And Stuff takes another death. Wow. Now without item 1, excuse me, this will be a really tough third screen for him. And actually MetaLow getting machine. I think this is pretty much his win. His race to lose, excuse me. And Stuff is having it rough this time.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially like you said, he's trying to go quickly, but he got caught up with the placement of his items and he just couldn't get around enough to maneuver his way back out. That can end up being a rough roll.
It's all muscle memory. I'm pretty sure Stuff knows how to deploy an item one, but sometimes we're on a rush. When you're on a rush and you want to do it really fast, and sometimes you deploy it on the low wall, and it doesn't come out. So yeah, this stuff happened a lot to a lot of us. So give him some claps. I think he'll complete this. And GG's for MetaLow. His timer shows sub 36. His official SRO shows 36.00, but I'm gonna trust his timer and say it's sub 36. So GG's to him. It was a really great race. This was a more, let's say, forgiving seed. Want to express myself that way, but yeah, GG's to Meta.
Absolutely, GG's to MetaLow. According to SRL, he improved his race PB by 11 minutes, which is nice enough in and of itself.
So I'm not gonna do bets for the third any bets, like anything for the third race, because whatever I tried this, it came through. Like I'm not gonna curse the runners anymore. Seems that StuffnThings got my curse this time. Sorry, Stuff, but these things happen.
The stuff is through that third spike room, so hopefully it's pretty smooth sailing from here on out for him.
But you always know what the good part is. We will get a third race, which is gonna be the decider here. These guys are trying really hard, and I'm really amazed that we got a decider match on the first matches of the tournament. No one is playing easy. No one is trying to, because I've watched so many tournaments. Some guys just don't give their best, don't train that much, and want to get out of the tournament as soon as possible, just sign for whatever. And these guys actually train, and they want to win, and they play their best. So give it up for them. StuffnThings won't give up. I think he will pull through.
Yeah, I'm expecting a fairly close match for the third race. Hopefully nobody takes any of those unfortunate long deaths again, and then it'll end up being a lot closer.
Last race had 7 minutes difference. Wow. This one, if this one has 7 minutes difference as well, that means wow.
And again, so far in both of these races, it kind of came down to some really unfortunate and long deaths. Nothing particularly on either runner's side, just some bad jumps leading to some bad pitfalls and a lot of time lost for one runner in one race and the other runner in the other.
Yeah, all of the death seems justified because you want to go really fast You don't want to lose time at any particular moment. So yeah, all bets are justified. It's not because they don't train for this, and it's not because they don't know the game. Actually, I believe this is what's playing on Refights is a Mega Man X3 intro or Mega Man X2 intro. If someone can repair me or make a
Pretty
remark.
sure this is Mega Man X3.
Yeah.
Just seem to remember the music cutting out when Zero shows up, and that's in Mega Man X3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those epics, Zero moments. One of them, actually, one of the best. As expected, though, StuffnThings doesn't have problems with refights. Seems that Wily 4 really got to him, and I think he died once on Airman, if I'm correct. Airman, one jump.
Yeah, I think he took a death on Airman, the Wily 4 deaths, and he took a death on Mecha Dragon.
Oh yeah, Mega Dragon. Oh yeah, that was unfortunate. That was the MetaLow death.
He shouldn't have to worry here, as long as he... Okay, there he goes. As long as he remembers to take up one of those E-tanks, he's got plenty of energy to fish with.
Okay, and Clash is really convenient, actually. So, here we go. Almost a 7-minute difference again. Seems that everything wants to be blue today for some reason. So Alien is blue again, and Stuff just wrecked it. So GG's to StuffnThings with 43-14 time.
Yeah, GG to StuffnThings. Finishing up there. Match 2. And they'll be getting ready for match 3 shortly. I'm gonna have to bow out for that one, though. I've got to handle some stuff IRL for work.
So thanks for stopping by, helping me with commentary though, and make sure to follow Easy, because he's a really good guy. He's also participant in the tournament, in this tournament that started recently. And also follow all of our runners, which currently are MetaLow and StuffnThings.
Yeah, follow those runners, follow Talentless. He's actually kind of good at this, unlike me. Yeah, follow all the runners. This should end up being a pretty good tournament. And you get to have a match 3 in just the second race, so that's always exciting too.
It is gonna be a nail biter here. It's gonna be the third actual race. Let's see these guys give their hearts to us and show us what a real Mega Man speedrunning means.
So yeah, I'm gonna bow out. Thank you all for having me. I hope I was able to help out at least a bit and not be too distracting. Thanks, Talentless, for letting me conversate with you, and I'll see you all in future races.
Thank you, and have a good day or night.